larger issue that we face, as you can imagine, is in Western Jamaica. I'll start first with the Northwest. Something that we hadn't contemplated or certainly had hoped wouldn't happen has indeed occurred. The Great River water system is on the boundary of St. James and Hanover. Its intake pipes were dislodged and washed away in the storm. The Great River water system serves just under about 35 to 40% of St. James and most of Hanover up to about Logwood. So you understand the disruption that this will indeed cause. Contractors have already been mobilized. The pipes are already on site. We have been working with NWA. There will be a temporary intake installed, which will cause some traffic disruption, and the longer term work will take about 6 weeks. But we expect to complete the temporary reconnection by Sunday evening. That will allow us to pump pretty much for 70% of Hanover and 35 to 40% of St. James. I think that's important for residents there to note. We do have a generator on site at this water treatment plant, so as soon as we're able to pull water into that facility, that will help. The Martha Brae system, which tends to be the next largest system supporting approximately 50% of northern Trelawney and about 50% of St. James, especially the Montego Bay metropolitan area, is being impacted by turbidity of the Martha Brae River. With where that is now, we expect that to significantly reduce over the next 36 hours. We do have generator on site. We will be able to pump water into homes immediately after turbidity subsides within that 36-hour period. As it relates to Logwood, which is the major supply for Negril and sections up to about Landilo, it was damaged during the storm in terms of the electrical supply. We have repaired that and we have commenced pumping. So within the next 12 hours, persons from Logwood to Negril to about Landilo should be seeing water as we backfill those lines. We're working to do the assessments in the rest of Westmoreland. Access and connectivity with our team has indeed caused challenges. A team from Trelawney and Montego Bay is physically going to sites throughout the course of the day. We'll be better able to update as it relates Westmoreland, I would imagine by close of business. There are 17 systems that we had evaluated between Eastern St. Elizabeth and Central Westmoreland that we have made arrangements for generators. We're working with the JDF to establish the routes to install these over the next 36 to 48 hours. Clarendon is currently impacted heavily by energy issues, certainly at our pumps. The JPS has advised that the major ones that service central Clarendon, not political boundary but geographic boundaries, will be energized by this evening. The St. Catherine treatment plant is already back in operation. We expect backfilling of lines from Spanish Town, certainly into Old Harbour, to be complete before the end of the day, and persons in St. Catherine should largely have water supply by close of business. That's for the plains. We expect to deploy generators, 8 generators, which will function to restore approximately 50% of Portland and approximately 60% of St. Thomas before the end of the day. We're working very closely with our partners in JPS to restore power firstly to the systems that supply hospitals, infirmaries, places of safety, places of detention, and of course airports. We have commenced loading bay operations at Logwood in Hanover to deal with most of Hanover and Western Westmoreland. We have commenced loading bay operations in Trelawney that will start to deal with Eastern St. James. We are working to get power source to a small well that we do have in Western St. James to commence trucking by this evening in the western half of St. James. We are pushing very hard to deploy our generators and to work with JPS to hit our 70% target by the 72-hour mark of restoration for customers.